Chapter 1, The Fall Begins. Sally stood on the edge of the Hollywood sign, her fingers tracing the weathered metal of the H as she surveyed the chaos below. The iconic skyline was now a hazy shadow of its former self. For decades, Hollywood had been the heart of dreams, a glittering beacon for those chasing fame. But now? Now it was a wasteland of abandoned studios, empty red carpets, and silent sound stages. It started innocently enough, streaming platforms gaining traction, box office numbers dwindling. But no one expected the collapse to happen so swiftly. Sally, once an A-list actress, now walked the empty streets of Hollywood Boulevard, her name long forgotten by fans who traded theaters for headsets and holograms. Peter, a former screenwriter who'd penned blockbuster hits, emerged from his rusted RV parked near the Walk of Fame. "Sally," he called, holding up a yellowed newspaper. "They're auctioning off Paramount tomorrow. The last studio standing." Sally scoffed. "Figures. And let me guess, some tech billionaire's buying it to turn it into a metaverse playground?" Peter nodded grimly. He adjusted his glasses, smudged with the grime of sleepless nights spent scribbling scripts no one would ever read. "We've got one chance left," he said, handing her a worn folder labeled The Big Break. Her fingers trembled as she opened it. Inside were sketches, character outlines, and handwritten notes. "You're serious?" she asked. "It's our last shot. A real film. No AI-generated plots, no fake stars. Just us. But we need to move fast." The idea was insane, but Sally felt a spark of hope for the first time in years. The two set off into the night, determined to reclaim their craft from the ashes of a fallen empire. Chapter 2, Shadows of the Past. Sally and Peter worked tirelessly in a cramped garage studio, surrounded by salvaged cameras and faded set props. The echoes of a vibrant Hollywood haunted their efforts, from the ghostly whispers of once bustling sets to the hollowed-out theaters lining Sunset Boulevard. "This city is cursed," Sally muttered as she adjusted the lighting for a pivotal scene. "We're clinging to scraps while the world moves on." Peter, pacing with a script in hand, shot her a look. "If we don't tell this story, no one will. They've already erased us." Their film, Hollywood's Ghost, wasn't just a movie, it was a rebellion against the tech overlords who had drained cinema of its soul. The plot followed a group of out-of-work filmmakers banding together to save their studio, a not-so-subtle nod to their own plight. Despite their passion, obstacles loomed. Peter's equipment frequently broke down, forcing him to improvise with duct tape and sheer determination. Sally, who hadn't acted in years, struggled to recapture her spark, often breaking into frustrated tears during takes. One night, as they reviewed footage on a battered laptop, Sally paused. "What if it's not enough? Even if we finish this, who's going to watch it?" "Theaters are dead, Peter." Peter leaned back, exhaustion etched into his face. "Then we'll find another way. Underground screenings. Guerrilla marketing. This isn't just a film, Sally, it's a message." Their resolve was tested when a group of tech executives showed up unannounced. Dressed in sleek suits, they offered a fortune for their project, but only if it could be rebranded, digitized, and sold as part of a VR experience. "No deal," Peter said without hesitation. Sally hesitated, the temptation of financial security flashing in her eyes. But Peter's conviction was infectious. She turned to the execs, her voice steady. "We're making this our way. Or not at all." As the men left, Peter and Sally shared a look. They were fighting a losing battle, but it was their battle. Chapter 3, The Premiere. The night of the premiere arrived. Peter and Sally had worked day and night to complete their film, calling in every favor and spending their last dime. Their venue? A forgotten theater on the outskirts of LA, its marquee flickering like a dying star. Word had spread through whispers and clandestine flyers. By dusk, a crowd of cinephiles, struggling artists, and curious onlookers gathered outside. The theater buzzed with a mix of nostalgia and rebellion. Inside, the air was electric. As the lights dimmed, Sally felt her heart pounding. She glanced at Peter, who gave her a reassuring nod. The film unfolded on screen, raw and unapologetically human. It was a love letter to the golden age of Hollywood and a searing critique of its downfall. The audience laughed, cried, and erupted into applause as the credits rolled. But outside, trouble brewed. The tech executives had sent a team to disrupt the screening, claiming copyright violations and unauthorized public assembly. Police sirens blared in the distance. Peter turned to Sally. "We've got to get out of here." "No," she said firmly. "They need to see this." As the authorities stormed the theater, Sally stood her ground. She grabbed a microphone and addressed the crowd. "This isn't just about a movie. It's about our stories, our voices. Hollywood didn't die, it's being reborn, right here, right now." The audience roared in agreement, their chants drowning out the chaos. The authorities eventually retreated, overwhelmed by the sheer passion of the crowd. By morning, clips of the film had gone viral, spreading like wildfire across social media. Peter and Sally became symbols of a new movement, one that defied algorithms and automation. Hollywood wasn't going down, it was rising from the ashes, driven by the unwavering spirit of those who refused to let it die.